Morning.
Good morning, ma'am.
How are you? How are you all? Madhur, Neil, then
Good
Krishna.
morning, ma'am.
Fine, ma'am.
Fine. Happy to be home.
Yes.
So how do you like my website?
Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning. Good morning.
Morning, ma'am.
Yeah, how are you?
Fine, ma'am.
Okay. So, any doubts, any problems, whatever I have taught you in that?
No, ma'am.
No? You can make a function
No.
now on your own?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Prime number. Did you write with function on your own?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, okay, Shubham has sent me some doubts. His doubt was a little wrong, then he corrected himself. So others, if they are not sending me doubts, means they are going good, right? Or they are doing nothing at home, just sitting and eating. Huh?
Private function for palindrome strong number.
Okay, palindrome and Armstrong number. Done, solved. First of all, you will have to understand that when you make a function, till now you were writing everything in main function. Now when you make a function, actually most of the things remain same.
Hmm.
Most of the code remains same. The logic remains same. The only thing is we return the values from the function and we catch those values in the main function. Calling of the function and all that is different, but otherwise the logic will remain same. In prime number you need factors, so you will find the factors, you will calculate the number of factors, they remain same. If the factor numbers are 2, then it is prime, otherwise not prime, that is also same. Okay, so you need a lot of practice. If you want, you have 3 options. I have given you all 3 options: my website, my channel, and my email ID. You can send an email. I will reply. You know, whatever doubt you have, you can just write. I will reply to you. But don't just sit idle and think, oh, I will understand everything on my own. That will not happen. Okay. So now what we are going to do is I will continue with the lesson methods and functions only. Last time I taught you what is call by value, call by reference. We started. Okay. Today we will continue with call by value, call by reference. But let me tell you very honestly that you're not going to use this practically. So if you feel that, okay, this is very complicated or this is very confusing, don't be afraid of it. Just take it. Okay, because you are not going to use it practically, you are going to use it only theoretically. I'll try my best to explain what is call by value and call by reference. Okay, then we will continue with pure, impure function, static, non-static functions, basically type of functions. There are 6 type of functions that are given in the book. We'll discuss all 6. And then we will continue with function overloading, which is very important because you can be asked a program regarding function overloading. Okay, so I will share the screen. Till now only 27 participants. I don't know what others are doing. They're sitting at home thinking, okay, vacation chal raha hai. No, this is not vacation. Okay, so please, where are others? I don't know. Dev Barot has not attended a single class. He thinks that he will be promoted. Faltu mein. Where is Vansh? My favorite baby Vansh is not available. Oh, time nahi hai. Okay, not to worry. Harsh has joined today. What happened, Harsh? Huh? You are a chief guest today. Okay, let us see how many are present. I'll put you on mute. If you want, you can ask a doubt. You can unmute yourself. I don't think now that you are a baby who cannot handle this app. So I will allow you to unmute yourself if you have a doubt. The problem is when you write something in the chat window, I have to stop share and come back and read what you are writing. Rather than that, you can ask after, unmute yourself and you can ask. Okay. So let me mute you all. Allow participants to unmute. Yes, allow. But first, yes. So let's share a screen. This is the page that I want. Okay, so we have a PDF file here for your lesson. I hope it is visible. If it is not visible, you can speak. Okay.
Visible.
Yes, better. Okay. So let us see what we are going to do today is. Okay, we have okay, so we have already discussed what is the function, the signature, the prototype. Yes, all type of functions. Basically the function that takes the arguments, returns the values, doesn't take argument, doesn't return the values, all those things we have already discussed, the basic things. How to invoke function we have discussed. If we don't invoke function, the function will not return any value, it will not be called. Actual formal parameter also we have already discussed. So actually we were supposed to discuss how to return value. We know return keyword we will use to return the value. The return keyword will be the last statement of your function. You cannot write it in the first line, because when the execution will have the return statement, it will return. The literal meaning of return keyword is कि भाई वापस जाओ with the value. Okay, so pass by value, we are going to discuss pass by value or call by value, whatever you call it, it remains the same, the meaning will remain same. Okay, now what is pass by value? Pass by value is when you send a data member to a function. I will simplify the thing, I don't want to complicate it. So there is pass by value, there is pass by reference. So pass by value is when in a function you send a primitive data type. What is primitive data type? Primitive data type is your integer, float, double, char, boolean, byte, short. All those are primitive data types. I hope you know that there are two types of data types, primitive and non-primitive. Primitive, you have 8 data types, and non-primitive are your class, array, and objects of any class. Your classes, your array, interface, all those are non-primitive data types. So here what am I sending to the function? I'm sending int n. So now let us see what happens in this program. We will put a n here, and what we are doing in the function is we are multiplying n with 2. So हम n का value double कर रहे हैं. So if n was 4 here, when it comes in this function, it will become 8. And then we are printing the value of n. So if you print n in this function, it will be the double amount of this value that you have passed. It is simple to understand. Now here in the function, what we are doing, see what they have done is they have tried to confuse you a little. I don't like this about this book. They should write it in main function. Why to have two functions? You can easily call this compute function from your main function, but they have made a test compute function. So that makes it little confusing. Don't worry, we'll see what to do. Here they have assigned a value to num variable, that is 5. Now original value of num will be 5. It is so simple to understand. Now compute is a function and you are passing num to compute. So क्या pass कर रहे हैं हम? We are passing 5 because num का value is 5. So now what happens when you call this? What happens? You go here and you give the value to this compute function. So now this int n is 5. Now you multiply it with 2 and you print, then output will be 10. But the problem is when you come here, when you come to the test compute function and you write the value of num, then num remains what? Num remains 5. Num का value change हो रहा है, but that is changing in compute function and it remains in compute function only. It doesn't come back to test compute function. So basically, whenever you apply call by value, you send a primitive data type to a function, the value of the primitive data type will be copied into another variable, and the changes that you make in this function will remain in that function only. It will not reflect to the original value that you have passed. So यहाँ पे मैंने num का value में कोई change नहीं हुआ है. I'm passing value of num to this function. I'm changing the value there in the function, but the original value remains same. So two things that are very important when you are dealing with call by value is you will pass a primitive data type, and the changes that you make in the function will not reflect in the original value. So the original value will remain same, it will not change. But the same thing if I'm doing with a call by reference, see, they will do the same thing. Then what will happen? See what they have done. Pass by ref demo. Ye kya hai? This is not an integer, this is not a double, this is not a float. Then what is it? It is the name of the class. See here. Pass by ref demo. So what is this? This is an object of a class. Here they are passing an object of a class to the compute function. See the same code they are writing to make it simple for you. So in first example, we have passed an integer. Here we have passed an object of the class. Which class? Pass by ref demo. You want to check? You can check here. Here they are making pass by ref demo. Test object is equal to new pass by ref demo. This is an object that they have created. The name of the object is test object. Now what they have done, test object dot num. वो num कहाँ से आया? Num है यहाँ पे. Num is a data member in the pass by ref demo class. Now they have assigned phi. You remember they assigned num phi to num variable in that program. Here they are assigning phi to the data member of the class. So now what they will send? See, compute mein here we were sending what? What we were passing here. In compute we were passing num, num, and here what are we passing? We are not passing num, we are passing test object. Test object is object of a class. So in call by reference, you pass an object of the class which is reference data type or user defined data type or non-primitive data type or composite data type. So what we are passing, we are not passing the value, we are passing the object. Now what is object? Object is actually a reference to that variable. Here, see, when you use call by value, you pass a value. So the copy will be created, the changes will be done in the copy, and that will not reflect in the original value. Let me give you a real life example and a very funny example. Okay, because that will make your life a little simpler. I know this is a heavy topic, so you might feel कि कुछ समझ में नहीं आ रहा. Okay, suppose in this class, who is very naughty? 10 थे. Yes, who is very naughty? No one.
Om Sharma.
Om.
Om Sharma, yes.
Sharma.
I knew that that name will come. So, okay. So, Om Sharma is doing something mischievous in the class. Let me stop share and let me see your faces. Om Sharma is doing something mischievous in the class. So, now what I will do is I will tell him, Om Sharma, you are doing this, you are doing wrong. So, now you will get a punishment. Okay. So we decided that we will give punishment to Om Sharma. But what happened actually, by mistake, I told someone to give punishment. Suppose some sports teacher or someone, and they don't know who is Om Sharma. So they took whom? They took Manpreet to give punishment. So now what happened? This is call by value. Punishment should have been given to Sharma, but by mistake, Manpreet was taken. So who will get the punishment now? Manpreet will get the punishment. And will it change anything in Om Sharma? Om Sharma को कुछ लगेगा, पिटाई होगी? No. This is called by value, where the original value will not change. So Sharma will remain same. Okay. Now what is called by reference then? Call by reference is, suppose I want to punish Om Sharma only, then I will send the ID card of Om Sharma to the sports teacher. Okay, this boy has to be punished. 10th A Om Sharma. This is the photo. So reference I'm giving a reference. So that sports teacher will check, okay, this is Sharma. So punishment will be given to Mr. Sharma. So value of Sharma ji will change. Now, did you understand what I'm trying to say? Call by value, call by reference. Any doubt you have, you can ask. Shubham, you can ask. You can unmute yourself.
Yes, ma'am. In these programs given in the textbook, programs 5.5, 5.6,
Yeah.
none of them they aren't using main function. So how will these functions be called?
None of them have main function, so you will have to call the test compute function. Do you understand? You will
Okay.
call the test compute function, and from the test compute function, you are calling which function? Compute function.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay?
Mhm.
Not to worry, we will never write such kind of code. Don't worry.
Compute.
The moment I will write the code, it will be main function, and we will write
Okay.
the function which is given actually, which is call by value and call by. But now, did you understand the actual meaning of call by value, call by reference? I gave you a very silly example so that you can understand this concept. In one, the value does not change
Yes.
because the original value was not sent. The copy was sent. Here Om Sharma ki copy hai Manpreet. Okay. In the second, we send the actual copy. So we send the object. That is the difference between call by value, call by reference. Okay. Any doubts regarding this?
No, ma'am.
No, then I will move with the next topic. The next topic is static and non-static function. I think we have discussed this a little in the class. A static function is where you don't need an object to call that function. That function is called static. Okay, so when you make a non-static function, you need an object to call. Now, what is the example of your static functions? Your static functions are math.pow. You remember pow function, POW? SQRT function, all the math class function, POW, SQRT, and math.absolute, and math.ceil, and math. All those functions are static functions because we never use an object with that function. What do we use with the function? Math. What is math? Math is the name of the class. The name of the class in which the function is made. So when you use an object to call a function, it is non-static function. When you do not use an object to call a function, that is your static function. So when you have a static function, you can write the name of the class. You can avoid it. Rudra, mute yourself. Okay. So when you have a non-static function, you can either use the class name or you can avoid it. It will work without the class name also. Clear static and non-static function. Your main function is a static function. So have we ever used obj.main? When we call the main function, we directly call the main function. We never make an object and then call the main function because it is static function. Most of the functions that you will make in your programs will be non-static. You will make an object and you will call. Now only we made a function in call by reference. Which kind of function it was? Let us share the screen again and then we'll see. Here. See,
Non-static.
this compute function is non-static. So how are we calling the compute function? Okay, they are calling directly. Compute test object. Okay, now here they have given, sorry, pure and impure. First, let us see static, non-static, then we will come back to pure, impure. Pure, impure is similar to call by value, call by function, static and non-static. Okay, so how to call a static function here? sorry, non-static function, we make an object of the class. Here, this is an object of the class. And from the object of the class, we will call the function. We have already done this. Okay, so static int find cube static. So how to call it? From here, find cube static. Seedha, demo class. We are using demo class. What is demo class? Demo class is the name of the class. But if there is a non-static function find cube, how do we call it? Find cube, we are calling with class object. What is class object? Class object is the object of the class. Okay, so basically, in short, if you want to remember, whenever a function is static, it has to be called without an object of the class. But whenever a function is non-static, you need an object to call. This will make a difference. Please understand this lesson I'm teaching you. That will make a huge difference when you take computer in class 11. Because in class 11, we never write the programs in only main function. We make at least 2-3 functions. So in 10th standard, you might not make so many functions. So nothing to worry. Just understand the basic concept. That is more than enough. What is pure method? The pure method does not change the original state of an object. Basically, a method which will take the value. Here num we have taken. Num is equal to 5 into num plus 5, return num. No problem. Num ka value here we have changed. But when we call it from here, when we call it with the value of param is 2. So param ka value yahan pe change hoga? No. The value of param will not change. It will remain 2. The value of param will remain 2. Why? Because the changes that we have made here. See, param we have sent here in dot pure method. Pure method kya hai? Yahan pe. But when we make the change in the variable, we are actually changing the value in the local variable. We are changing the value of num. We are not changing the value of param. So pure method is a method that does not change the original value. The value remains same. You call it any number of times, the value of param will remain same here. But what is impure method? Impure method is when we actually change the value in the function. See here. Now here data members are here. समझ में आ रहा है क्या फर्क है? When you send a data, data type, integer, float, double or something, the value will not reflect. The changes will not reflect. But when we send an object, see here we will send an object to the class. See here, what are we sending? My account dot deposit. What is my account? My account is an object of a class. My account is an object of a class. I'm sending that object ka value, data member I'm sending here. See, deposit 12,000. What is deposit? Deposit is your function. So what have we sent to the function? We have sent my account dot account balance. See here. So that's why the value in the object will change. First it is 12,000, then again we will put 12,000, so it will become 24,000. So here, because the value of the original amount changes, this is called impure method. Okay, this you will remember only for 2 marks, nothing to worry. What is impure, what is pure method, the difference you should know. Okay, now comes your main part of this lesson, a very important part, which is called method overloading. What is method overloading? This is very, very, very important. Method overloading is, let me give you an example. If I want to add 4 and 5, 4 and 5 are integers. I want to add them, right? So I will use the add method. Now, what if I want to add 2 floats? Do I need a different name, add float? If I want to add doubles, do I need a different method name, add double? Rather than doing that, can I make one function with the same name, which will take different type of arguments? Yes, that is better. Why? Because the function name remains same. I don't have to remember the name, like add int, add float, add double. So method overloading is when in one class, you have more than one methods with the same name. That is called method overloading. First of all, I will write an example of this method in BlueJ. See here they have given an example if you want to see. Int max. I hope this is visible. I am going to zoom it. Int max, in bracket we are passing two values, int num1, int num2. Same method I have made here. See. Okay, what they have done is they have given return type. This is not a correct code. I will write the code on my own. Don't worry. This can be called overloaded method. Here max function takes two integers. Here max function takes two doubles. What I am going to do is I will write a program for you in BlueJ. Okay, and we call it
Ma'am.
method overloading. It can be a 15-mark question, a program in exam regarding method overloading where you will be given to write three functions. They will ask you to write three functions. All three will be overloaded functions.
Ma'am.
Okay, I will share this screen with you. You have any doubts, you can ask. Don't worry, I can hear you.
Ma'am, in method overloading,
Yes.
won't it, and say in method overloading, we have two different methods and they have different numbers inside their parameter
No,
list.
the name of the method will remain same, then only it is method.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, but in the parameter list, the numbers will
Don't
be
worry,
different.
I'm writing the example. Don't worry. Don't get confused, Shubham.
Okay.
Okay, so here we are not making a main function first. Let us make a overloaded method first. Public. Let us take this int add int a. Don't worry, my examples are never confusing. I will write a very simple code. I hope this is visible. I'm making a function called add, which has two arguments. It is called int a, int b, and it returns an integer only. I will copy paste the code because it is going to remain same. Now what I will do, I will take a float here. If I'm taking an input as float, I'm going to return a float. My mouse is giving me a tough time. Okay. Now you will be surprised to see that we are adding two strings also. Oh my God. How come? Don't worry. I'll execute the program and I'll show it to you how it is going to work. Okay. So here I have made three functions. All the three functions have the same name. If you realize, if I change the name, then it is not an overloading program. The function name has to be same. That is the first rule in overloading. The function name has to be same. And the arguments should be different. Okay, let us see how this is going to work. I will make a main function for you. Okay, so from here I am calling these functions. So now only I will give you an example of static function. I want to I don't want to make an object of this class, so I'm making all these functions as static. So you will understand the concept of static functions better. So how to call these functions? Okay, we have last 10 minutes, nothing to worry. If I want to call this function, what will I do? I will call it with, okay, what I will do is I will change the function a little because I don't want to take this return wala jhamela. Okay, 4, 5. Here I am going to take 4.5 plus 5.54543. Chalega na, because it is a float. Now here I will take two strings. Hello. Second string is world. Hello world. Okay. Now what I will do is rather than doing this return sum, मुझे change करना पड़ेगा फिर तो okay. So public sorry system dot out dot println. See, we are studying theory and practical at the same time. So nice. And your practicals are gone. You cannot go to the lab. Please install BlueJ at home, huh? Because if we cannot go to school for few more months or days, then you cannot just sit at home and think कि भाई आ जाएगा, Java ही तो है. Okay, so now I'm going to execute this program. Let us see what happens when I execute this program, and then I will explain it to you. क्या हुआ? Found and add double method overloading is not applicable. Something is wrong. Okay. Possibly lossy conversion from double to int. Method overload add is not applicable. Method overload not applicable. Lossy conversion double to okay, bhai. I'll tell you the reason why am I changing this. Nothing to worry. I had to change it because I forget to write F. If I would have written F, so error nahi aata, but not a problem. It doesn't make a difference. Let us see when I compile this code, what happens. It has been compiled without errors. There was some error. That was my mistake. I have, corrected that error. Let us call the main function. See, first output is 9. So 4 plus 5 is 9. I hope you know math. Then comes our 4.5 plus something 5.5. I don't know what have I given as input. And the third is hello world. So see what happened actually. I have made 3 functions with the same name. In first, I am adding the integer. Simple add karo integer ko or return karo. There is nothing much in the code. In the second, I am adding a double. In the third, I have done the concatenation of the string. Concatenation means joining the strings. Okay. So here the advantage of this overloaded method is whenever I'm adding an integer or a double or a string, I don't have to remember the name of the function. के क्या नाम था? Add int tha or add integer or add number or add double, add float, add string, add char. What was it? I don't know and I don't need to remember because here the name remains same. So this is called method overloading. in real life, if you want to understand, you can understand it this way, that your plus, sign remains same. If I write in math 4 plus 5, I'll get 9. If I write 4.2 plus 4.3, I will get 8.5. So plus operator works for integer also, float also, double also. Like that, here I have made a add function which is overloaded for 3 type of data. Here I can write one more data type called character. I can make one more function which will take 2 type of objects and add those and do something possible. The only problem here is, Shubham, later, wait for a minute. Now here the only problem is, what if I am keeping the same data type again? What if I'm making one more function which will take 2 integers? Then what? I'm just changing the names here, x and y. Ab kya hoga? Please understand this. Here there were 2 integers taken as input. Here there were doubles. Here there were strings. But these 2 functions are same. Can you understand? It takes 2 integers only. Only the variable name, the formal parameter name I have changed. So is it going to work? No, it is not going to work. The problem is, even if I change x and y here, the problem is that when I call this function, see, it is giving me an error. The error is method add is already defined. आपने ऐसी एक add method बना दी है which takes 2 integers. So again you cannot make the same method. Why? Because when I'm calling this, please understand, when I'm writing add 4, 5, which method should be called? This one or this one? Which method? So there is a confusion. That's why you cannot create the method with same name and same type of arguments. Now let me do a magic for you. Now this will not give you any error. See. Now it is not giving any error. Why? Because I have changed the number of arguments here. There were 2 integers. Now there is only 1 integer. So now it is a different method. So how to call this method? To call this method, I will write 2 here. Khatam. So what it will do? It will return 4. Let's compile the code and let us run this code so that you can understand what happens here. The output will be, system is little slow, not to worry. Okay. So, I'm not able to show you the output, but the output will be 4. Then the remaining things will be same. Here the output will be 4. Here the output will be 9. Here the output will be 10. And here the output will be hello world. Okay. So this code is working because in one method we have 1 integer. In the other method, we have 2 integers. So now there is no problem in this code. So what is the definition of method overloading? In one class, you have same method name, methods with the same name but different arguments. Now here the number of arguments should be different or the data type should be different. Okay, so this is your function overloading. Now, who had a question? Shubham, you can ask because we have less than 1 minute, or you can send an email to me if you feel that I am not able to answer your question. You can speak.
Okay, ma'am. I will send an email, ma'am.
Huh?
I will send an mail.
Understood? You were not waiting for me. I knew what is the doubt. That's why I stopped you. Okay. Now, if you change the return type, is it okay if return type is only this? No, it is not okay. Both functions, same name, same argument, only return type is different will give you an error. Because while calling the function, we should know what are the data inputs. Okay, so now what you will do is you will take this example from textbook and type at your home in BlueJay
खाली
and try
सांस
to
कर लो
understand how
खाली सांस कर लो बाकी
something works. Okay,
सांस कर लो सांस कर
any
लो
doubts? Because we